It's a very good evening to you, Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us. Maybe talk us through the objectives of SAZAC at this stage.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to this platform. SAZAC was developed after having looked at the trade that has been flowing in between South Africa and Zambia. This actually spans from way back, where we have seen that the South African companies have been moving into Zambia, and Zambia has been importing quite a lot of goods from South Africa. So we looked at the new trends where we have seen currently that there's quite a lot of companies that are actually creating a footprint in Zambia. And we looked at what challenges they are facing, and we realized from there that there is a need for us to create a chamber that might be able to mitigate some of the challenges that these companies are facing in Zambia.
A lot of challenges when doing business on the African continent indeed, but when you look at the areas of compatibility between South Africa and Zambia, what are they currently?
Well, look, South African, the South African economy is more diverse. It's more dynamic. And what we're saying is that we've seen that there's a trade imbalance. From the Zambian side, we see so many companies that are not prevalent into this economy. We see, take for example, on the Zambian side, Zambia exports quite a lot of goods into the European countries. If we take for example, we're talking of beef, we're talking of flowers and the like. But then they are close on the South African side. So we coming in to try and mitigate that imbalance and see how we can be able to encourage and get involved into dialogue where we see certain products that are produced in Zambia, they get exported into here. And also from the South African side, we want to facilitate more of the companies, South African companies that want to get entry into Zambia. And that we have seen that the response has been very, very good. We see the likes of the FNB going into there, the Massmart going into Zambia, Hollard and Plascon Paints and the like. And that way we see we still want to help quite a number of other South African companies that have approached us wanting to get their footprint into Zambia.
I guess it would be a very good time now to diversify out of the European situation, given the fact what we are seeing currently in Europe and moving into countries like South Africa. Any other countries that you're looking at currently right now?
We're looking at the DRC. Okay, if you can see that the political instability in DRC has promoted a lot of Zambian trade between Zambia and DRC. Most of the goods that you normally see on the retail side, they coming from Zambia. But we saying also that we are very strategically positioned. You know, Zambia is a gateway for export into the Central African and Eastern African countries. So we are targeting at DRC, we're targeting at Botswana, we're targeting basically the Southern African regional countries and see how we can be able to work together and consolidate our competences to, you know, create a force that would actually balance the trade within the Southern African region.
And as an investor wanting to get into Zambia, I should have some sort of checklist before venturing in. But what boxes do I need to tick before getting into Zambia to make sure that my company will prosper in line with Zambian regulations?
Well, that's one point where we come in. You know, we're saying that investors need to have sufficient data that is researched. You know, they need to look at numbers. And how do we do that? We have decided to partner up with various relevant institutions that would be able to provide us with business intelligence. You know, organizations like KPMG, who are our sponsors. You know, we're looking at how can we be able to bring or to rather research into various sectors of the industry and get sufficient data which we can now disseminate to our members and see how they can be able to make decisions, informed decisions to get into, you know, start their operations into Zambia. needless to say, we're saying that, you know, with Zambia, it's one of the countries where setting up a company can be done within 48 hours. So the checklist is very straightforward, if I may say. You know, the investment opportunities are vast. The incentives are probably non-comparable to what other Southern African region countries are offering. You know, it's evidence also you've seen what has been happening. We have companies that have gone into Zambia, and within a period of 1 year, they've actually done their break-evens, and they're flowing into good performances. So those numbers are also an encouraging factor for various other key players that want to move into that market.
Oh, well, that's where we have to leave it. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Jordan Kana, Chairman of South Africa's Zambia Chamber of Commerce, talking to us about growing ties between Zambia and South African businesses.